How are you doing, guys? SmartEntity here. This is going to be the first in a series of videos looking at the latest Syndicate Melee weapons. To begin with, we're going to look at the Telos Boltace. Now, just to have a look at the build here quickly, obviously I did not put a formal on there. This is just with one potato. And to explain the build, so this is by no means the highest DPS build. It's mainly the build that I found to work best for me, and I feel is a build that you can get the most fun out of this weapon. So obviously we're going to have primed, pressure point maxed, max fury. We are going to put true steel on there despite only have a 10% crit chance, just so we can chuck in berserker in there for that additional melee speed. We're going to use fever strike and focus energy to combine to give us that corrosive, which is arguably one of the most favored combinations in game overall. And of course, focus energy gives you that additional channeling bonus, so I don't really use channeling much. It's always good to have that channeling efficiency if you do need it. Now, the main purpose of Prime Reach here is not to actually give additional bonus range, but to give that additional blade beam range. So the Telos Boltace, like every other Syndicate Melee weapon, have a unique advantage versus your regular melee weapons. And the Telos Boltace's advantage is on slide attack, the weapon produces an energy wave from the player that spreads in all directions, dealing high damage to nearby enemies. Additionally, switching to the Telos Boltace increases the velocity or duration of certain maneuvers. So that is directly from Warframe Wiki, so credit to whoever put that on there. And Prime Reach effect, again, is mainly just for that blade beam or energy wave effect. So we are obviously on Mercury here, one of the lowest level enemies that you can find, and this is quite good to just show off that Boltace energy wave range. Now, do keep in mind this is with a max prime reach. Without a max prime reach, it's really not that impressive. But with a max prime reach, you can clearly see the range on it is pretty good, and I kind of feel the main advantage of this particular weapon is this sort of energy wave, energy beam effect. Alrighty, so here we're on Pluto versus enemies around the level 30, mid 30ish range. Now, as you can see, with the modding that I have, the damage is not great. Now, that enemy was obviously killed by the Sentinel. So this we got a full health. So as you can see, the damage is not great. Now, obviously, I am using the corrosive combo, so pretty bad against Corpus. And obviously, I do not have a fully formed weapon, but you can clearly tell that the damage is just not anything to brag about. It's not bad, it does do some damage, and it's AoE obviously, so quite good against clusters, but it's just not that effective. Now the Telos Boltace do have very smooth maneuvering, so obviously it doesn't have any of the previous traveling utilities that we all knew and loved a couple years back with the dual icons, etc. But it does have pretty smooth movability, which allow you to get through laser doors, etc. Quite handy. I've been doing a lot of Dark Sector Pluto excavation, and with all the X-Men on there and the fire waves, it is quite easy to escape a quick knockdown. And obviously, being the type of weapon it is, it does have that down-to-ground knockdown effect, which a lot of weapons do have, but it is good to appreciate, especially if you play with weapons like daggers a lot, which does not have this knockdown effect. Now the Telos Boltace, like all the other Syndicate Melees, do not have the innate Syndicate advantage that the Syndicate primaries and secondaries do, i.e. the 1000 AoE damage plus a bonus that it gets once its gauge is filled. So just to have a look at the baseline stats of the Telos Boltace, so it has a base damage of 85 plus an attack speed of 1.08. Now that's pretty mid tier, the crit chance is 10%, and this is a stat that really makes this weapon not top tier. Now to be top tier these days, you kind of have to have a crit chance of at least 15%. And of course, to be competitive as one of the best weapons, you need to have a crit chance of about 20 to 25. And the main reason for that is because melee weapons have a mod called Berserker, which has a plus 30% attack speed, bonus for 24 seconds on critical hit at max rank. Now, because melee weapons don't have an ammo bank, the faster the damage, the higher the DPS. And because elemental mods and slash puncture impact mods generally do not benefit each other directly, i.e. they only benefit the base damage mods, whereas Berserker and other attack speed and critical chance mods benefit all other mods, crit builds are generally just better. Now to sum up, the Telos Boltace again is a weapon that is unique for sure. It's fun to play with, especially with the energy wave. I really enjoyed it, especially with a maxed prime reach. However, because its DPS and damage potential is just not up there, especially with the absence of an innate Syndicate bonus, I kind of feel this weapon for me is just going to be a master and folder, and we're going to just see if there's going to be any reworks with this weapon. Alright guys, please stay tuned for the next melee weapon, which we're going to do, I will say, let's do the Vaker Sidon next.